So we're going to go to the juicy part because that's the side I like. I remember when you were talking earlier, you said you went out on a, I don't know if it was a date or a guy, kind of classmate. I'm sorry, but I want to ask, what is love like in
for an international student, right? How's been their experience?
Well, is it sling pickings or is it give us some juicy gist. What was it like? Go ahead.
Okay. For me, to be very honest, when I came in here, I knew I wanted to go to school and graduate. Like, that was my priority. Mm-hmm. I won't say I didn't see anybody I liked, don't get me wrong, but that was my main purpose. I was just like, okay, I just want to do this school thing and forget about it. Mm-hmm. So I was focused. I had few friends that came around that I liked, but I knew I knew I wanted to finish school first before going deeper into that part. So generally, most of the time, it's usually not cute. Yes, to be very honest, most of the time, it's not cute. It's not.
Talk more about it. Like, what's not cute about it? Is it so difficult finding someone or finding the right person? Or
okay, so like I said, my own purpose was for me to just do school and forget about it. So now that I'm done with school, let's start with this one. Like, why we're taking classes while you're in school. Mm-hmm. It's actually not cute in the sense that. I don't want to say most of the guys here don't know what they want.
Right.
I don't want to use that word, but that's how it appears to be. Like, most of them don't know what they want. They just want to have fun, and that doesn't make sense. Okay. Most of them, they're actually being attracted by what they see. Not all of them want to like build real, genuine friendship with you. Right. Most of them, because I'm this kind of person. My philosophy is you building a solid friendship first. Try to get used to that person, and then you guys can take it off from there. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, those ones are not ready to invest. They're not willing to put in that work to have a solid friendship. They just want to have fun. And if you want to have fun, go to the gym.
I love that.
They want friends with benefits. Without doing the work.
Without doing the work, and that doesn't work. And you've forgotten that. I know most of us here are students. You can't be doing that. Definitely, it's going to affect the academics. Mm. So that's why I said I came here with my own purpose, because I know, like, okay, this is what I need to face so that I can be able to do. I don't have to allow this to affect me. Do it. There was a time I was in
a relationship.
In a serious relationship. I think I was transitioning to the Polytechnic. But along the line, it didn't work out and it affected me. To God be the glory, I've not even resumed school yet. Imagine if I'd resumed school, it would have, affected a lot. Like, my grades would have dropped. So I would say most of the time it's not really cute. I will use that word. Mm-hmm. Not just for the guys, even the ladies too. Some of them, they just want to, when they see a guy looking good, they just want to take advantage of them too. I'll talk about the ladies. Yeah, they want to take advantage of the guys. Even though sometimes you see some guys, some of them, like I said, most of them don't know what they want, are not willing to invest, are not willing to put in that work. And that is okay. The same thing with the ladies too. When they see some guys that are serious, them too are not willing to put in that one. They want to take advantage of them, which is also not cute too. So the love life for international students is actually not cute, because at the end of the day, it affects you, affects your studies. Then now that I'm done with school, we are
single and searching, or single and not searching yet.
We are single and watching.
Watching. Okay, so I have a question regarding that. Well, feel free if you want to still answer how personal you want to go.
Okay.
The person you were into a relationship with, or maybe little experience that were not so cute.
Yeah.
Was it a foreign person, or was it somebody of the same nationality with you, or just were you looking specific? Were you reserved? Because we have a recent video that we'll put a link up here on love and dating, where we actually talked about what international students might be experiencing, why some people are using others for papers or documents and stuff. Now we also refer to people that, having mixed race relationship, if it was something people would love to go for or not. So what was your take on that? Was it also a mixed racial relationship?
No, the person is also from my same home country, like he's a Nigerian, like me, same nationality.
Okay.
Yes.
And it just didn't work out.
It didn't work out. So just like, okay, we're not going the same way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're not going the same way. But it was a very healthy one, because he was very understanding. He was present. He was intentional. By the point, it looked like, everyone's decision was kind of affecting his own decision. And to me, I saw that as a red flag. I was like, if people are able to talk into you and then affect how you make decisions, and I'm not doing. If you're not able to make good decisions, because this is just a test. Imagine if we go deeper into it, family will interfere, friends will interfere, and if you're not able to stand by your word, then what are we doing? It's going to affect me as your woman, that kind of thing. So I had to, though it was hard, but I had to let it go. Then the other one was a distance relationship. Yeah, it was a distance one. We were both working things out, okay, because then I was rounding up with school, I was graduating from Polytech. I was like, okay, once I'm done with school, I'm settling down, doing ministry and all of that. But it didn't work out because I feel my feelings matters a lot. Everyone's feelings matters a lot. The way you want somebody to treat you, you should treat the other person the same way.
Yeah, sure.
And that's my own philosophy. If you want someone to treat you with respect, learn how to treat other people with respect. Learn how to make that person feel seen and not undermined, regardless, whatever you guys, which word will I use? Your status, whether the person is any more or the person is doing better academically, whatever the status, just, try not to make someone feel undermined. So I think in that area, it was not balanced. I was affected badly, and it's like, okay, looks like it's not working, and it's okay. Go take a break. I'll go work on myself. You go work on yourself, and you think things work out, then we'll come back. So for me, love life here is actually not the best because, like I said, it looks like most international students here don't know what they want. I think it's maybe when they're done with school, when they're willing to settle, then they're willing to put in that work. But say, why are you going to school? Though we have few international students where
things work
out, and because they put in that work, both parties were very intentional about what they want. The lady did put in that work, the guy did put in that. They were both vulnerable, they were transparent, and they were committed. But if you don't do all of those two, it will not work out. If you both are not going the same place, you're not going the same direction, no vision, it won't work. So in general, international student lifestyle, love life here is very boring.
Well, go ahead. Thank you, Queen, for being open. Now, from our discussion, you talked about having two relations. Let me say one was distance, and I would want to assume both are Nigerians.
Right?
Yeah,
they're Nigerians.
Yeah, Nigerians.
Yeah.
Were you restricting yourself to other nationals? Or
were you
opening yourself, or did you restrict yourself to?
I did at the beginning.
Or were they not coming?
They were coming, but I wanted my fellow Nigerian, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Why? Do you have any reasons for that?
Well, you just want someone that knows the culture, that knows the value, that kind of thing. It's very easy because I felt like school has already stressed me, and then settling down with another person. School has stressed me, and then moving to another, it's going to be like another additional work again. Right. Yeah. And then when you start having family, kids start coming, that's extra work. So I'm just like, you know what?
I don't want to.
But to follow up on that question, what is your state of thinking, mindset?
So my orientation has actually changed now. To be very honest, the people that came in there, I had Indian friends. They were very.
That's far. Don't do for us to get there for the wedding. We'll get.
I had Indian friends. I was so coming. He was willing to be a Christian. I was like, because of me. Let it be because you want to. Yeah. I was actually scared, but they were good people. They were people that had this moral, values rather. I had the Canadians too. But I was scared because of the mindset. Then, they easily, separate that kind of. Yeah. The divorce rate is very high. So I was scared. I didn't want to get to that point where we have to separate. So, but right now my orientation has changed. So, Queen Esther is open.
Yeah, that's good. And your parents, are they open to?
Oh, my mom doesn't mind.
Oh, that's nice.
My mom doesn't mind. My daddy. He doesn't actually mind, but he's just
He will prefer.
Exactly. Yes.
Settle with somebody from your culture.
Same culture, yes.
It's easier to align and align your values.
Yeah.
I was actually talking with someone recently, and he's Japanese. And then we're talking about naming a child. And he said that in his culture, for you to name a child, they have to go to a certain prophet or priest. So imagine dating that kind of person and you have kids, all that cultural differences. You have to read the moon and all. It sounded deeper. And I was like, so listening to you, those are the things I think will play in the minds of immigrants, when they want to do interracial. How would I blend into the culture, food?
Yes.
And so love would try, but then the nitty-gritty workings of it can be.
Yeah, because when you come down to the basics, in the beginning you might love yourself, like that guy, the guy loves you. Then when you're now going further, you now realize that, okay, we're taking it really fast.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the realities of life that we really need to talk about or deal with.
Yeah.
And if you are not strong enough, you might just fall apart if it is interracial.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just easy peasy for some people. There's no...
So out of sheer curiosity, what is their pickup line like here?
How do
the guys approach girls? I would remember back in the university, you can be in a lecture hall and the guy sees you and walks up to you and sits with you and says, oh, I saw you from afar, I like you. Like, wants to know about you, wants to exchange numbers or something like that. Is that how they do it here, or everything is online, or nobody even says anything? Let's just go and hang out and be drinking and then come talk to her.
Most of the time it's usually like that. Like let's hang out. Like there's always like this picnic, this get together, and then when you go, that's when you connect. Most of the time the guys
don't really state what their intentions.
No. So how do you start? Like I said, the picnic, the hangout, maybe when there's a get together and then you meet this person and then everybody's exchanging snaps or number, that kind of thing. And then it starts from there.
And then you start chatting.
And then you start chatting, Snapchat or WhatsApp or Instagram, and then it continues like that. Most of the time, it's usually in a gathering.
Okay.
It's few occasions where the guy will walk up to you and tell you, oh, I like you, that few, but most of the time it's always in a gathering. Like
that
when there's
connect with
it's like when there's a birthday party, when there's a picnic, and then you meet this person and everybody's just like, oh, okay, you're a student, okay, you follow your snap, but in your mind you know what you want.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. And then everybody exchange contacts, snap, and then they continue from there. The boy said he'll walk up to you, it's only in a few occasions.
From your own observation, do you see more of foreigners coming up to black girls? Like, do you see guys, or do they reserve themselves for themselves? Like, do they
you mean the white guys?
Yeah, white guys, or they're not necessarily white. Do you see them coming for black girls?
Like I said, it's always in the gathering. And only in few occasions that you see one or two persons walk
Even
up
in gatherings, they will still... Are they open to, from your own your own observation, do you think other national races are open to dating people that are not...
Yes, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
So have you ever thought of using like a dating app? Because it seems to be the in there, apart from maybe hanging out at picnics or maybe just at a place, maybe a club or somewhere where you can drink.
Okay.
Have you ever tried dating app, and do you think it's something among you young singles and maybe international students or non-international students?
Yeah. You swipe left or right? That's what like Kinder app, because there's this app where you swipe,
go through the pictures and their profiles.
So if it's the right one, you swipe. Is it right or left? But I know you swipe either ways. I watched the movie. It's actually on Netflix. Okay. So this one is beyond just the students, because again, life is moving to that level where people don't really do that style of meeting people. Everybody does it online. So there was this guy that he will put a profile there, and then I think, is it right or left? You swipe to welcome the person, but he was a swindler. So he ended up swindling almost 5 ladies. They put up the movie on Netflix.
A couple of movies.
So that's why I knew about the
swipe left, right.
That might vary too. Depending on the app.
The app, right? Yeah. Okay. So how did you do it?
Is the dating app a thing? Is that something? Have you ever tried it?
Okay, me personally, to be very honest, I've not tried any dating app here. Though I've been wanting to try it because I've been curious. Like, okay, I've been hearing about this dating app of a thing. I hear even there was a time one of my classmates, she's a Canadian, and then her boyfriend was just always all over. I was like, and he's not a Canadian. That's he is not. So out of curiosity, we talk, and she was like, okay, we met, on one app like that. I was like, okay, really? And then I hear other stories like, oh, those people are married. They met themselves. So I've been very curious, to be very honest, I've been wanting to check, just to know what does this app look like. How does this work? But I don't know how it works. I haven't tried it. Even that's why I've been curious for so long. But that is what most, I would say, international students, I hear students talk about the dating app stuff, how they meet, how it works, but I haven't tried it, so I don't really know how that works. Yeah.
Okay. I have another question, Esther.
Okay.
So relationship and having a status in Canada. Like, I've heard of gist of students wanting to date permanent residents or citizens just because that can give them opportunity to become Like, is it a thing? Is that really what happens among students? Like, they would refuse to date their fellow student and kind of targeting people who have
paper.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens.
It happens.
I've heard of so many cases where some people run out of status here and they have to, settle down with somebody that has a paper just to save their ass here, just to save their status here. It happens. Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask, still on relationship, but a weird question. What's your take on when some people would say, I'd rather go back home and get someone than dating?
Well, I won't blame them though, to be very honest, because of what is going on here. Like I said, so many of them are not serious.
Okay.
So many of them, both the male and the female, are not serious. Yeah, they don't have, I won't say they don't have this matured mindset, but that's what it's looking like. Because you don't know what you're doing with yourself. You, like I said, you just want to have fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And another thing again, some of them are kind of scared. Like, okay, the ladies here are already like Canadians, and they don't want that
mentality.
That's Canadian mentality.
What's that?
Yeah, that's
so they'd rather go home and go bring somebody. But what I usually tell them, what about you go bring person she calls, but she's gonna become a Canadian. So
right.
What's the difference? So yeah, like I said,
when you mean Canadian, not like Canadian, but maybe the westernization idea mindset. That's what you mean.
Yeah, the mindset actually.
When I'm a woman, I'm independent.
Right. Kind of
I have my rights.
Yeah.
So they're scared of. They want the one that will be subservient more of.
Yeah,
that thing never works because again, you never know what someone will become until you see them in different scenarios and atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman might be subservient back in the home country just because the culture doesn't allow her to become what she wants. And then she comes here and says, okay, and then it flips. So I know people do it, but I'm yet to see anybody that has a good story to tell about it.
And a man that is doing the right thing.
I think that's some good ones, though.
I see on the story
I think
and blogs.
Definitely the sad ones that we'll see on blogs. But I feel that the important thing is marry a good person.
Yeah, why should you be scared that you're
marry and they're still back home?
It can happen.
Treat the man right.
Yeah, just marry a good person.
Some of them go, okay, so some of them, because again, distance is a problem.
Okay.
So imagine, let me paint a scenario. The guy is here, he's of marriageable age, wants to settle, has tried maybe dating one or two girls, and if he feels that all these ones are too worldwide, and then talks to his folks back home, I need to get married, and then they pull some girl from wherever. They never got time to know themselves because everything was done through distance. Okay. So it's like a roll of the dice. The person might come and become your soulmate and you all live happily ever after, right into the setting sun, or the person comes and it's a living nightmare.
How did you treat that person?
Yeah.
Exactly. Because, if you're a good person, the other person coming, of course, some people are bad, right? But in some other cases, the person will not just become a monster overnight.
Exactly.
So how did you also treat the person bringing? Because if your mindset before you bring that person is, I need a subservient person, then you almost tend to treat that person
like that. Yeah.
So over time, the person tends to develop some resistance over time. You can't keep treating someone like a housemaid,
you can't be doing that,
or I'm an African man kind of mentality, and you don't expect some level of resistance. So the person is just naturally.
The person came over as seeing you as a ticket to leave Nigeria,
and then
then when the person gets here,
so you to treat the person right,
and shine your eye.
So
go and pick somebody that. Well,
like I said, most of them here are not willing to put in the work.
Right.
They are not willing. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of sacrifice for two people to work together. How do you treat the woman? How does she treat you too? How does she make you feel? How do you make her feel? Sometimes the guys here are more about themselves. The ladies are more about themselves. Nobody's willing to put themselves in this other person's shoes. And another thing again, I noticed that some of them, I don't want to use the word most of them, but the ones I've come across are not healed. They're outbroken from the past. So they tend to affect other people too.
They're carrying baggage.
Exactly. And they don't know.
But again, so this is what I'm going in my head. I'm thinking all of these things still happen back home. People get into relationship, they are broken from it, and then they move on to the next. So why is it that they still try and keep things cohesive back home, but here everyone's like, I can't handle this. I'm done.
Let me be an advocate for the guys. If I'm going to be that, I think to an extent, some ladies, young girls, they also have this. They want to brainwash themselves away from the African culture,
and where they're coming from.
Yeah, from some levels of values where they are coming from, and they want to wear this garment of I am now, I'm westernized. And that's might scare some guys away of like, am I able to deal with this?
Right.
To what extent is this lady wanting to be so liberated? And is she able to like at least talk one-on-one? Or is she the one that if I make an error of judgment, will she be a little bit understanding or forgiving? I'm not talking about judgment of promiscuity or anything, but maybe interaction, maybe quarrel or anything or misunderstanding. Will she be able to like be matured, or you should be just the one that will up and get out, or want to, hold me ransom because she feels like so that also might scare off guys from being too much committed because they're trying to still study you. So I think that might play a role in on seriousness in quote of relationships here
for the ladies.
For the guys reaching out or being deeply involved in a relationship, and they might have experienced that before.
Are they reaching out? They are not reaching out.
So I think maybe what she's saying is they're not
being intentional about what they want.
Yeah,
you go for what you want. You guys should speak, talk, communicate. When you see that she's acting this way, you talk about it. Then if you see that it's not working, then you guys separate.
Is it age? Are they too young?
No, I don't think
so. So another question to ask: in the times you dated, did you guys have moments? And feel free if I'm going into deep waters.
Okay.
Did you guys have moments where you sat down and said, "Okay, where is this relationship leading to? We've had our fun. I like you. You like me. We seem to jive together." So, do you guys have those kind of conversation, or that's too deep and it's just all about let's hang out, let's have
some. Personally, like the one that I met here, met me on campus. He was intentional. That was what I actually appreciated about him.
Okay.
He made his intention known.
Okay.
Yeah, his intentions known rather. So he came up, he was just like, "Oh, hi, like I've been seeing your campus here." And then I was like, "Oh, really?" And then, you're Nigerian. We just chatted for a while. We just connected like that. And then, like I said, we've been seeing each other. Then that day we exchanged contact. And as time went on, it didn't really take a while. He became very upfront, like, "Okay, I like you, and I would like us, I like this friendship to go further," because he wanted what he like. He knew what he wanted exactly. So he became very intentional about what he does. If there's any issue, we talk about it. Like, I really appreciated everything from the beginning till the relationship dissolved. Yeah. So he was intentional, and he knew I was a student, and okay, let me use this part. Like, he was this kind of person that usually works very early in the morning, and he works late and closes around like 2, 3 a.m. It was very understanding, like his time and my time kind of work. We talked about things. If it's not comfortable with this, he tells me.
Right.
If I'm not comfortable with this thing, I tell him, and we both make adjustments. It only gets to a point where you're non-negotiable. There are some things that are non-negotiable for you. Like, okay, when third parties are coming in, it's something you can't take. And those are things I know I cannot take. Like, I expect you to be able to make certain decisions for yourself instead of involving second, third party, and they're affecting your own decision. So there were things that were deal breakers for me. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not going to go further because I feel it's going to affect me. It's already affecting me now. Just talk about, when we take it further, like exactly when I settle down with him. So that was even where I had to you make your intentions now. You guys talk about it. If you see there's something she's doing you don't like, you talk to her. Some of them don't know how to talk. You don't know how to communicate. You keep things to yourself. Then how do you want this person to know that what this person is doing? And some of them even hate to be confronted. To be very honest, I've seen many cases when you tell them like, "Oh, I don't appreciate when you do this," and they get upset. Kind of having their faces like your mommy scolded you. Very upset. When your mommy, shouts at you and you're looking like this, come and eat you, not want to eat. That's how they look. I'm telling you.
But are you sure you weren't coming too westernized? We all know, as in either we live in the Western world, the kind of world we have now, we still have our culture. Okay, I'm not sure that was what I'm not. I think that's not what happened.
I wouldn't say I wasn't. I don't think I was doing that because I always want to give room for you to speak up.
Okay.
You tell me if you don't appreciate this part about me, please tell me. I don't like how you approach this thing. But to be very honest, so far, I don't think there's been any situation where somebody come up and say, "Oh, you don't speak to me in this manner that I like, you always attack me this way." Like I said, whenever you bring up that thing, it's not even just me personally, it's out of like, I have friends that confront their partners, confront their situationship or their talking stage or their relationship, and both the male and female, they don't like to be confronted. Sometimes the guys tell the ladies like, I don't appreciate when you do this,
right? And
they get upset. How do you want to grow if you're not willing to take corrections? So some of them, they're just like, "Oh, this is how I am." What you mean this is how you are with your bad character? Sorry.
So I think
exactly.
in this kind of situation, a lot of immaturity to play.
Yes, yes.
It might not have to do with whether you are an immigrant or international.
No,
it's just a bit of immaturity on both sides, and it happens to every relationship. You have to grow to, and I'm sure whatever behavior that person might have attributed or behaved and that ended that relationship, not yours, but generally. Maybe in another 5 years, the person would have learned. It's a learning curve for everybody. Yeah, there are some things we do when we're younger, and now like, how did I do that? You know, I was actually wrong. You might not have admitted it then, but with maturity and exposure, you will learn some things.
And I'm thinking to my mind, I noticed like some of them here, both the male and females, want clarity, but they kind of put them in that loophole where they're like breadcrumbing you, you know, feeding, they're like not fully invested. They're just basically tipping you just to make you feel comfortable, and then you're asking what's up with us. And then you're not like being upfront about it. I've had many ladies, you know, talk to me about it, like, oh, I was talking to this guy, but this guy kept putting me in that space, whereas I keep asking, what are we? Like, you can't be treating a lady like that, or you can't be treating a guy like that. Like, ladies too, they do that kind of thing. You lead you on. Yeah, the ladies do that, and the guys to do that. So that's one of the things why people can't even have beautiful love life here. You know, when you are just, you know, giving them that tip and not fully into them. So most of the time it's usually like that.
I also feel it's a reflection of the times that we are in now as regards relationship, because times are different. We are living in a time where people pop balloon to know if they want to go to a date with somebody. You might have seen those where whole balloon and
are those real? Like,
that's some dating sites or some dating shows like that. Dating shows.
How do you decide?
Then you walk in, you see
just by seeing the person.
If you don't like the guy, you pop. If you don't like what he says, you pop.
So it's a reflection of the times that we are in.
Yeah.
So our viewers would like to know your thoughts about what we've discussed on the love life as an international student, immigrant, or anyone that you think that everybody would learn from. So this is what we have for today. And before we go, we're just going to have final words from our ladies and then from our guests. So I will start with Osas, Okiki, and then finally Queen Esther.
So I would like to appreciate Esther for coming around to the show. Thank you so much, and for being vulnerable and open for so much that you have shared. I'm sure a lot of people have learned so far. I want to say to our friends, our viewers, our followers, our subscribers that if you're out there, you're an international student struggling academically, socially, in a new environment, in a new climate, don't think you're alone. A lot of people have passed through that same situation. Just look out for a support system, and I'm sure you will be able to get through it. When you feel homesick, reach out to family, friends that can lift you and support you.
Okay, thank you, viewers, and thank you. Keep subscribing, keep liking, and keep sharing. Once again, thank you, Queen Esther, for coming to the show. Thank you. Really had an awesome time. And to our viewers, thank you for always supporting us. Be open, international students, immigrants. Be open to talk to people. Don't feel isolated. Everyone has one or two struggles, so don't think you are alone. I wish you all the best.
Queen Esther?
Firstly, I want to say thank you one more time for giving me this opportunity to speak here. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Awesome. And to my viewers and international students, please, I want you to have an open mind. Okay, have an open mind. Be willing to talk. You know, don't stay idle. No matter how, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert, try to speak up, because if we don't speak up, we won't know how to support. And I want you to know that there are a lot of support systems here in Canada. You know, wherever you're watching from, Ontario, Toronto, Quebec, there are a lot of support systems. If you're a student, try to reach out to anybody on campus. We have academic advisor, we have student help center that are willing to put you through. And also, you know, if you're a Christian, churches to try and find one local church around you. And like I said, try to be open, try to know how to communicate with people, speak to people, and be open. And then I hope you get the support you need. Thank you one more time.
For me, it's just one word. Remember, life is for the living. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.